What's up, Guardians? My name is XCalion, and it's been about 6 weeks or 7 weeks, a little over. It's just, it just depends. It's been bad. I didn't have internet. It was a storm, took my tower down. It was a crazy situation. Fought with my ISP, and anyways, I'm back. It was a rough couple of weeks there. I was only able to do the podcast using like alternative sources of internet. I was able to kind of play on our hotspot. It was crazy, but I am back. I'm going to start uploading more. The podcast is going to go on, and for today, though, I have a very special topic, being that this is my first video of Season of the Haunted, and on a topic that I think is kind of important right now. And it's important not because of any reason other than Bungo, we've got to talk. We've got to figure this out. What is it that I'm referring to? I'm referring to the difference between Adept Weapons and fully enhanced weapons. Now, you guys have seen this before in plenty of videos. This is my baby, my Adept Messenger. High cal rounds, rapid hit, Desperado. Rapid hit, of course, increases stability and reload speed. It's basically like having Outlaw, but better. And then, of course, Desperado, increasing the fire rate. It's crazy. It's not quite as good this season, but it's still very, very cool. And for a long time, right here, Adept Weapons were considered the pinnacle of pinnacles, right? Like, this was the best that you could get for, like, PvP, and you could get, like, a plug one with Reservoir Burst for PvE, or, anything, really. Anything. There was a ton of good stuff. I'm just using that as an example. And now we have weapon crafting, and we have weapons like this. This is my Peace of Mind. This is my Stringer that we're working on getting the gold on. I have right here, I have a Callus Mini Tool. I shared a clip the other day. Entering Shirochi's room using incandescent. One magazine, I just wipe it through the room and it eviscerates everything. It just causes this chain reaction of death. It was awesome. Absolutely awesome. And it's leads me to question something. Whenever I have this, whenever I have an enhanced glaive or something like that, whenever I have these, what's the point of the Adept Weapons, right? Because Adept Weapons are great. Don't get me wrong. You get some extra perks here, which are great. Your points and your stats there, which is awesome. You have access to Adept mods, which are great, but a lot of these mods are kind of useless, like Counterbalance. It does increase the recoil direction, but it cuts your range. Target acquisition is great, increases that, but it cuts your stability. And so on and so forth, right? Like, and then these ones are okay because they're just a flat addition. I wish these did the same, but they don't. And it's caused an issue now because there's just really no point. This is not the best weapon in the game anymore, right? It's just not. Now, you could fix this, and this is kind of what I want to talk about today. Enhanced traits. Now, let's not lie. Let's not sugarcoat it. Let's be very clear here. They are just better than regular traits, and I would say they are more significant than the minuscule stat bump that Adept Weapons and their masterwork tend to give, as well as the advent of Adept Weapon mods. They're great, don't get me wrong, and for a long time they were, outstanding. They made the game better. They gave you something to grind for. But now, the grind is still fine, but a big issue is now you can just go and take but several of these regular weapons and just make them better by crafting them, by getting the enhanced traits. If you get them to a certain level, they give you a small stat boost. Now, granted, you can't put Adept mods on them, but, the enhanced traits themselves are just better. Enhanced moving target, gives you just better target acquisition overall. Things like snapshot sights, things like rangefinder, things like auto-loading holster. Some of these just give you flat stat boosts. Some of them just give you effects that last longer. Like, some of them, they're all just better. That's all there is to it. They are just better, and there's no question that they are better. But You might be asking, well, Legend, what are you talking about? What do you want to do? And I said something on Twitter the other day about potentially adding enhanced traits to Adept Weapons. Now, Adept Weapons, again, already, they're better than standard weapons, don't get me wrong. But in the hands of a good user, like my messenger, for example, so long as they have the same roles, my regular messenger, or my adept messenger, is just as effective as an adept messenger. Save maybe being able to add a little bit of stability, or a little bit of extra recoil or extra range. Like, it's just not super effective to have the adept version compared to the regular version. Whenever now we have these enhanced traits on craftable weapons. And so my idea being, if we can just take these adept weapons and give them basically just intrinsically enhanced traits whenever you get them, I think that would go a long ways towards making them feel worth it again, because as of right now, they're really not. Our GM numbers for the last couple of seasons have not been, or last season, were not super stellar. Now, granted, they took some weapons out of the pool this season, like Palindrome, and just a few others, but Palindrome being the big one that everybody grinded for. It's not there anymore, and to be fair, I don't think it really matters because you can just craft an Austringer. All of that to say, you can't craft adept weapons, okay? Like, you can't take any of the weapons that we have that can get adept or time lost and craft them. So, knowing that these perks are already in the game, like Adept Desperado, it's not Adept, but Enhanced Desperado, it's already in the game on the new purpose, I believe is what it's called, the Duality Dungeon Pulse Rifle. You can craft it, and you can get the Enhanced Desperado, Enhanced Rapid Hit, stuff like that. My point is, if you gave Adept Weapons these enhanced perks right off the rip, being that it is end-game content that we're talking about, being that, we're talking about, playing trials, doing Grand Masters, doing the hardest tasks within the game that you can do, realistically, for most people, I would say, it's just not really worth it to do it right now. And I understand that people are, frustrated. There's this thing within the game right now, and it's make another video on this here very soon, regarding accessibility to, players and making the game easier for everybody. Everybody can already get some of these weapons anyways, but for those of us that are willing to actually get in and get the pinnacle, like the adept content, it just feels like we need something to kind of keep us going for that adept loot. Otherwise, it's just kind of pointless. But that's my idea. That's very simple, I think. I think that, these perks are already in the game. You're not really adding anything to the game. I don't think they would be overly overpowered, like they really don't seem to be that much crazier than the regular weapons that we get. So if we could just do something like this and simplify things, it's a simple solution for an issue that the people that play PvP or the people that do Grand Masters, I think kind of feel they're not getting right now. And with Destiny, we kind of get this, drip feed of content every, few months. They change things up. They like to change the meta. The weapons, so, the weapons that you use are always changing. It's never the same. And they have the artifact, with their, mods and stuff. And it's just nice whenever some things are a little consistent, and that's, I think, what I like. That's what I want, and I want people such as, myself, that likes doing the end-game content, like the Grandmasters and the, Trials of Osiris and stuff like that. I like, being able to have something to grind for. Right now, it just kind of feels like that's not really a thing, and don't get me wrong, I've played Trials, tried to play every, week that it's available. Wasn't really able to there for a little while because of the internet situation, but that's fine. I love doing Grand Masters whenever I have a competent fire team to go do that stuff, and that's not going to continue if the reward structure isn't there. And rewards, of course, that's very important. That's what makes people want to play a game. You know, you can do all of this space alien shooting and all these crazy space magic, you know, all this crazy space magic that we're able to do. None of it means a thing if the rewards aren't there. And I think that is something that we need to look into. So that's my solution. Bungie, give us enhanced traits on our Adept Weapons. It's super simple. And if you agree with me, then, you know, share this video, please. By all means, share it with your friends. You know, let's get it out there. And I say this because I don't really think I've seen anybody post something like this or say anything like this. Not myself. I could be wrong. I don't watch a whole lot. I mean, I have a very select few other creators that I watch on a regular basis. Probably not as many as you would think, but, you know, I digress. I just haven't seen anyone else say anything about it, and so I kind of wanted to put that idea out into the universe. So I would greatly appreciate the feedback on what you guys think. So I think that's going to do it for the video, guys. I'm just going to kind of let the rest of this play out and say thank you, and I appreciate you guys for sticking with me through all this time. The content is coming back now, getting ready, you know, for the next expansion. We're kind of getting ready to talk about that and whatnot, but yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for checking out the content. Can't do this without you, and as always, Godspeed, my friends.